Alright, so if you're in your 20s, I'm gonna warn you guys ahead because you are going to experience something that will dramatically and radically change your life forever. If you're between 20 to 28, you are going to experience a radical transformation. You're going to experience a mental shift in frequency, in the way you operate, the way you view the world. You're going to slowly, as cliche as it sounds, take your life seriously. Now, let me tell you guys a very small story, and a story that you guys might even relate. Now, throughout the majority of my life, I was a professional football player. I believed and thought, and I've done that for the majority of my life. I always thought that my end goal was to become a superstar professional athlete, the dream kind of teenager goal that every teenager loves and wants to become. Now, I put that goal for myself and I have done it to some extent. I became a professional football player in Malaysia. I played for one of the biggest teams in Malaysia. And so right now, this year, I'm currently 24 years old. I have undergone this radical transition, this radical change, where one day I woke up and everything disappeared. Every single thing, the entire goal and philosophy of becoming a football player, to become a popular person, to have all this quick money from being a really good athlete, I woke up one day and it all disappeared. Why? Let me explain it to you guys. So, you're going to experience this specific change in your 20s where you are going to start formulating and shaping your identity. Because from 0 to 18 years old, you have been classically conditioned, right? If we talk about classical psychology, your entire belief system and your entire identity has been formulated by your surroundings. That includes your upbringing from your parents, the siblings you're surrounded with, the country you grew up, the religion you surrounded yourself with, the culture you were brought into, the school you grew up, the politics in your country. So a lot of these external factors that you cannot control, has fundamentally created that identity for you from 0 to 18 years old. Now the thing is, when you land in your 20s, right, especially when you go into college and to university, for a lot of the students watching this right now, you, for once in your life, decide and formulate decisions without the influence of external factors. Yes, I get it that in university, still a lot of your decisions are heavily dependent on your parents or from your spouse, or a lot of the things that you want to do still has some influence from your surroundings. But from a very low and minimum level, your body and your soul and essentially your brain is facing a situation that even from the lowest extent, it's formulating decisions independently. And I get it, this sounds super cliche, and something like basically what I'm describing right now isn't new. But it's something that I would like to warn you guys for, because if you are not prepared, then the issue is you are going to not only face difficulties and not knowing how to solve these decisions and make up your mind essentially, but you are going to face anxiety, you're going to face depression, you're going to be overwhelmed, you're going to be burnt out. And I'm saying this because I've been in that situation a lot of times, right? And so what you got to do firstly, and what I want you guys to do right away, is to make your decisions absolutely clear. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm saying this as a 20-year-old because we live in a world, in a society right now, where distraction is abundant. We are highly caffeinated. We are highly overstimulated with dopamine. We have social media everywhere. We have short form content. We have other stupid stuff like partying, pornography, we have alcohol, we have smoking. There are all these different types of vices that exist within society for a reason. It's not a bad thing. They exist as a mechanic of society for a reason, but these vices, these things that essentially distract you, the biggest problem that I've experienced with those was that I was unable to make clear decisions. It sounds super stupid, to be honest, but it cannot be further than the truth. Because there was a time where I was drinking a lot, where I used to party. I used to enjoy this teenager lifestyle, right? And there's nothing wrong with all of those things. You can party, you can drink. But the issue was that I was so distracted to a point where I was so derailed of my initial trajectory of my plan that at one point I just woke up and thought, you know what, like, where am I heading? Where am I literally heading with my life? Every single day I distract myself with all of these hedonistic, things that we all enjoy in college and university. But when you sit down with yourself for once, when you are in the car or when you are in a room of silence, when it's late at night and all of these distractions disappear and you're absolutely conscious with yourself for a moment and you self-reflect and you become self-aware, then you question yourself and life. You think, where am I going? Then you question your identity. Then you question your direction. And if you don't have an answer, right, and that is absolutely fine, but if you are overthinking it, right, let's just put it that way, then you'll shoot yourself into an existential crisis. You're going to shoot yourself into depression, anxiety, all these sorts of negative feedbacks you get from your brain and body. And one thing I want to make it clear to you guys, when I talk about this, right, depression, anxiety, existential crisis, these are essentially not bad things, right? Because a lot of people, they believe, anxiety, depression, and I don't know, like doubt and not being confident. A lot of people attach that to something very negative, and the issue with that is that you essentially avoid it, and that's something you don't want to do, because if you avoid something, then you're not really solving the problem, are you? Right? And so understand that depression, anxiety is just a feedback. It's specific stimuli, it's a specific reaction of your brain and body telling you, hey, listen, something is wrong. And the good side, and that's the really good thing, is that soul, I like to call it, or that internal, system inside of you, deep inside of you, that's anxious and depressed and worried for you, that is that shadow, right? What Friedrich Nietzsche, by the way, talks about a lot. That is that shadow, that hidden potential of yours that is asking you to break free. It's literally asking you to break free, and it makes you worried and it makes you question life, and it's doing that on purpose so that you reevaluate your decisions and make sure that your goal and your identity of who you want to become becomes more crystallized, right? And so let's talk about this, because now that you understand that you are 100% going to experience, because you are definitely going to experience it. It's something you can't avoid. And I always wanted to avoid this. I was worried. I was afraid of growing up. But after going through it, right, with myself and questioning perhaps every aspect of my life for, some amount of time until I had anxiety and all of those problems, I came to the conclusion that you got to formulate your identity. You cannot avoid these things, and avoid, as I mentioned earlier, you cannot sideline or just push them aside. You need to sit down with yourself and think clearly and thoroughly of what you want to become. And again, I know it sounds cliche, guys, but you are just not doing it. And I don't mean just a thought process or an ideation, or just think about, okay, you know what, in 5 years I'm going to work for this company. You need to actively and practically sit down with yourself. You need to take out a pen and paper, and you need to write down your goals for at least the next 5 years. You have to do that, because if you don't, then one thing or two things happen. Firstly, you are absolutely unclear about where you are heading. That's the first problem. The second problem is that the universe is also unclear what you want to become. And that's a bigger problem, because there's something known as a theory of manifestation and a theory of vibration, right? And both of it is essentially the same thing. Because I want you to understand that the way the universe works, and I say this to everyone, and everyone still gets confused, but you will get what I mean if you're in the same position. The universe works like Santa Claus. You know, it's already, in fact, it's December right now. So just imagine Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus has the image of becoming or being a really amazing dude, handing everyone presents, granting everyone's wish, giving everyone all the good things. You never hear anything negative about Santa unless you guys watch, I don't know, a horror movie about Santa Claus. But imagine that with the same imagery, the universe, the way the universe works is that the universe can grant you every single wish that you can ever imagine. No joke. Every single thought, everything bound by physics and bounded by the laws of the universe, anything you can physically think of, right, and imagine, it can be true. I'm talking about your career, the amount of money you make, the dream wife, the car you want to drive, the house you want to live in, the area you want to be, the things you want to accomplish. Every single goal, what I just mentioned, is absolutely is possible. And the reason why is because the universe works in such a way that it will manifest that. And the only way it can manifest that is the universe needs to know where you are heading towards. If the universe doesn't know your strategy and your plan for the next 5 years, the universe will be confused what type of reality it will give to you. The universe doesn't know what to give you. One day the universe will give you a job. One day the universe will give you a random side chick. One day the universe will make you feel like shit. One day the universe will make you feel amazing, right? The universe can do all sorts of good and bad things, but the way it works is the universe does not have morale. The universe does not know the difference between good and bad. The only thing the universe knows is to give you something back, and that whatever it gives back to you is in accordance to your plan, your direction, and your strategy. So I hope you guys understood this video, because in the lesson of this video is to create a strategy, a plan for yourself. If you're a student right now watching this and you don't want to have an anxiety or midlife crisis or depression, the shit things that I've been experiencing for the past few years, sit down with yourself, write down your plans and manifest it. It's not a one-time thing, just to make that clear as well. Don't sit down after watching this video, write down your 5-year plan, and 1 week later you forget about it. No. Actively write it down, and every single day, wherever you go to, whether you're going to class, whether you're seeing your family, your friends, whatever you're doing at the moment, think about your goal, imagine it, visualize it, and make sure that that thought becomes into a proper manifestation. Okay? Hope you guys understood. If you enjoy this, I'll make another video. Just let me know. Bye bye.